Diyos! Welcome to another episode of CAR-Reflections. So for today's episode, I'm gonna be sharing to you one of the common struggle of the OFWs, and also this can be one of the most common toxic Filipino culture, the emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is the undeserved blame, or being obligated for the things that you didn't even plan to have, and feeling guilty of something that you didn't do. Based on the stories of my friends right here abroad, like they always experience emotional blackmail. Let's say, for example, a family member wanted to buy something and he or she doesn't have any money to pay for it. So what he's going to do, he will get the item. He will promise the seller that my daughter will pay for it. Because, for example, a family member got sick, so you are being guilty and obligated to provide for the sick family member. What's gonna happen is that you will always worry how you can provide, how you can give. You will feel depressed, you will feel stressed without even knowing what is our situation here abroad, especially in this pandemic time. This is not to give you a negative impact, but this is to encourage especially the OFWs, or especially the people working abroad, to stay strong. So my message to every OFW, or if you are the breadwinner of your family, there are 3 things that I want to share how you can overcome the emotional blackmail. Number 1 is you have to be strong. You have to be strong emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Why? Emotionally, because that's where the enemy attacks. The enemy is trying to use your family for you to be depressed, for you to be stressed, for you to worry. You have to be strong, especially in your faith. So that comes in the second thing, is you have to know who is your provider. Because if you will always think that you are the one providing for your family, you will just be crazy worrying about those things. If you know that God is your provider, you will never ever worry of where is your family gonna get some money to provide for their daily lives, because you are not their provider. God is your provider. And that comes into the number 3. You have to know that you are a child of God. Just like a father to his son, he will never forsake his son. So imagine that one. We are family in this world by blood, but we are brothers and sisters in Christ. So God will never forsake them. God will provide for them. Just remember those 3 things, and then you can fight the emotional blackmail, because it's a weapon of the enemy for you to be depressed and stressed. Remember that you don't own the world. You don't own all the problems in the world. But you know what? I wanted to encourage you with this verse, especially when the things don't seem fair. It says here in Proverbs chapter 22 verse 8 to 9, those who plant injustice will harvest disaster, and their reign of terror will come to an end. Blessed are those who are generous, because they feed the poor. So if people are being abusive because of your generosity, don't worry, because God knows what's inside your heart. Just leave it all to God. He will repay your generosity. Alright, so don't worry too much. So I pray that you will overcome those emotional blackmail that you are experiencing, and with the help of the Lord, you will experience joy and peace. Alright, so that's it, mga anak ng Diyos, for today's car reflection, and I hope na car-relate po kayo. And keep the fire burning, and I'll see you next week. Happy weekend.
Kung di na jud mada, just close your eyes. Hangad lang sa babaw, siya rin nakabaw. Kung tinuod ba or di, sakripisyo sa slami. Bahala nagsakit, kay munindot ng resulta mo. Ragbag ko nga patik, ang imong hinaguan, kay mulang bulag kalit. Ang kalipay na madawat, kay dili na mapalit.